I think when I made the last video I made, I was talking about cleaning out the contents of that barrel. I remember dumping a bunch of stuff in the barrel, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I've got a lot of things like that, places where I put stuff in boxes and can't remember exactly what's in the boxes. So it's kind of like Christmas, rediscovering my own stuff, which is not a bad thing, really. It's kind of fun. Probably explain to y'all that I have somehow managed to catch a pretty good head cold. Now, I know that COVID is going around, and every time somebody gets sick, everybody gets afraid that they're going to die of a dreaded plague disease. But by all the signs and wonders that I've been able to observe, seems to me like this is just pretty much your everyday run-of-the-mill head cold. I did take the extra precaution of letting Rusty and one lonely farmer know that I had this head cold, because if either of them, and I actually do have people who wouldn't want to hang around with you these days if you did have a head cold. I had a person saying they were going to come see me this week, and I let them know I had a cold, and they were kind of like, okay, not coming. Let us know if you get over it by whatever the day was that they were going to be there. But anyway, if you hear me snorting and coughing and carrying on, that's why. Okay, this is a setup to connect a trailer lights, a set of trailer lights, to a car, and it probably will tell you exactly which car, because nowadays the new cars, they kind of come pre-wired for trailer lights, and you can buy a kit that's made to fit that car. I'm guessing that's what this is, but I can't tell you for sure which car it probably fits, which is kind of usual for me. This is a part that goes on a wheel balancer, and this, let's see what these are first. I got a bunch of these, which are, I was just looking for some of these the other day. These are all battery tenders. I'm hoping I find my screwdrivers in the bottom of here. That's my good little rubber mallet, and that's my other littler rubber mallet. And this one is a big hammer. I got in touch with, well, actually Chevy Tom got in touch with me the other day and was talking about having a gauge kit for his pickup truck, and was looking for somebody to help him hook it up. And I started asking him questions. I figured out right quick that what he has and where my knowledge base is way different, because I'm used to the old days where, you know, if you had a temperature gauge, it was either one with a cable like this and a screw-in part like this that screwed into the manifold or the head. What you'd call that a mechanical temperature gauge, or you might have, this is a oil pressure temperature gauge, and it has a place for a tube. So on this gauge, this screws into the block. On a Chevy, it's a little place right next to the distributor. And it's better if you have a brass copper hose rather than a plastic one, because the plastic one will burn if it hits a hot part of the motor, and then all your oil run out and it'll blow up your engine. And I can tell by the sticker on here that I bought this one at a yard sale because it's got a price sticker on it. And then this one right here is a oil pressure gauge, which also has a place for a tube. Anyway, none of that matters. I'm just telling you what I got. I think these are probably sending units because they say Stewart Warner. Back in the day, Stewart Warner was the, yeah, these are all little adapters and things to fit a Stewart Warner gauge. Back in the old days, Stewart Warner was the big name. Like if you wanted some good gauges, you went out and bought some Stewart Warner gauges. And if you couldn't afford the Stewart Warner gauge, you buy the cheap gauges, which is all kinds of them out here. See, this one is a this one is a sending unit for a temperature gauge. So whereas this temperature gauge with the tube would screw into the head, on this one, this would screw into the head, and then a wire would run from this to the temperature gauge. This is probably not exactly like this. This one is an oil pressure gauge, and it's not a Stewart Warner, and it has two connections. So on this one, you would have a oil pressure sending unit that would screw into the same place, and like I told you, where the oil pressure thing went in on the Chevy, and then two wires could become this. One would be a ground wire, one would be a hot wire. There's more than one way to hook up gauges. There's more than one type of gauges out there in the world. And if you're me and you've worked on a lot of cars over the years, you've collected a lot of old gauge parts. But then if someone who isn't me comes along and has gone to the parts store and bought the gauge kit that goes in the dash of his late model truck, I haven't a clue what to do with that, because you have to take the whole dash module out, put a new one in. And anytime you're dealing with anything that has the word module attached, I don't know anything about it. Not my thing. This is a good heavy duty wire. Now, the difference between this wire and the wire that you plug into the wall and hook your lamp to is this one is heavy enough to carry a big current. So if I wanted to plug in that welder over there, where is it? Where'd I put that welder? That one, that Lincoln, it's a 110 amp, but you need a big wire. That'd be the kind of thing you could use on that. We're still in here digging. This is just like Christmas. This is a dice shifter knob. Back in the old days, that was a very common piece of aftermarket accessory. You put that on your shifter knob and it was cool. This is the other part of the tire balancer that I told you about. You put that on that. And then when you put a tire on here, there's a bubble balancer right here. Let me get a camera. I'll bring y'all over and show you the bubble. Of course, you have to get the tire balancer to sit straight, and I think mine's sitting a little crooked, but it might be because this rod here is a little crooked. But if you look right there, you see that bubble? So when this thing stops rocking around, if it's on here like it should be, that bubble should be right in that circle. So if you put a wheel and a tire on that, and the bubble isn't in the circle, then you have to add weight to the opposite side from where the bubble is to balance your tire. That's the way we used to balance tires back in the old days. Nowadays, there's all kind of modern technology that'll do it through computers and stuff. I still use this one not as often on my daily driver car, but like on trailers and stuff, if I'm balancing. Well, I'll give you a good example. I put a set of like 16-inch 35 forward wheels on that rat rod trailer that I built, and those were way out of balance, so I balanced them with one of these, and I didn't try to take the rubber off of them because that old rubber is strong enough to last forever, but it is often, it's by the time it gets to me, it's pretty much out of balance. So this is something I do want, but I don't necessarily need it in here every day, so that will probably go back out back. Oh, what else we got in here? I mentioned something about ring squeezers the other day. Well, here's a ring squeezer, a brand new one. brand new one. Well, it looks like that picture. This little cup, you can loosen it, stick a piston in there, tighten it down, it'll squeeze the rings around to the edge of the piston. It looks like that. Now, I don't need to take it out of the box, but I will leave it sitting. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure where I'll leave it sitting, but we'll just sit it right here for now. Still haven't found my screwdrivers, but I am finding other stuff. I got more battery tender things, and I had a box this morning. Here it is. I'm thinking that box would probably be a pretty good place to put all those battery tenders. I used battery tenders a lot more up there than I'll ever need to down here, because we had weather that would commonly go down to well below zero. If you've got a battery and you leave it out in below zero temperature, it's a pretty good chance after it's been that cold for half the year, it ain't gonna work anymore when you get ready for it to work in the springtime. So I used to have batteries in everything I had. So those can also go back there because I won't need them that often. This is a nice set of screwdriver bits and various different bits like I've got in that drawer over there. This can join them. Oh, this is important stuff here. These are various punches and chisels, things like that. That's the kind of thing you need from time to time. This little thing right here, it says it's a chisel punch gauge. That's interesting. Never used one of them before, but got one in there. So I'll keep that up here. I got some other chisel punches in there. Still hadn't found my screwdrivers, but oh, looky here. There's a razor blade in case I want to shave. And actually, I used to shave out in the back shed because my beard can get pretty big sometimes. When I shave, all that hair falls all over the place. So I had a mirror set up in the back shed, and I go out in the back shed and shave. I've got some other shaving equipment out here for the same purpose. This one here, that one is rechargeable, and I'll let you hear it running. Hear that noise? And I do the same thing. I'll come out here. I got this little cute round mirror over here. I'll come out here when I need to trim my mustache and trim my beard. I'll come out here and do that in the garage. So I'll put that over there with that. And I got one more battery tender. Need a bigger box. I need a bigger box. I have in here a clamp and one more of these little things that go in here. That's about it for that. So this can right here is really good for making an echo. So if I wanted to make an echo, I could just go, hello, 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 and then make an echo. But it's also good for, you could put an outboard motor down in that, put some water in it, and run your motor. Or you could use it for a garbage can, which I think I might do. I might get me some smallish garbage bags and stick in here. Yeah, use that for a garbage can. So, I have other gauges here to go on that motor setup. So this can stay in the garage. These hammers, they can stay in the garage. I'll probably keep this in the garage just because it's cool. I don't know where I'll keep it yet. These will go into the toolbox. Those will go into the toolbox. This will go into, I'm going to create a special drawer to put short drop cords in. And this will go in my 12-volt electrical box. One of the things I did a while back is I put boxes up here and I labeled them. For example, these are pull ties, these are gloves, these are 12-volt electric parts, these are AAA starters. I have things in boxes and labeled, it's really easy to say, oh, I wish I had a pair of gloves. Oh, wait, I have a box of gloves right there. Or I wish I had a rag. Oh, there's some right there. And that's the way I want my garage to look when I get through. I'm standing here right now looking up there and I see small block Chevy bolts, header gasket, things like that. I'm going to need all that when I finish putting that engine together. But anyway, so that was what was in the blue bucket. I suppose I can take this back down yonder. I might take this plug-in razor blade down yonder, shaving thing, because I don't think I need it. I got that nice little rechargeable one. Maybe I'll use it instead. So I take this back down yonder, and I think the rest of this can stay in here. All these battery tenders, now they can go back there because they don't need to be in here. But if they're down there and if they're in a box that's marked, oh, that's my cue. Get a magic marker and mark that box as battery tenders. Then when I put them up on a high shelf, I'll be able to look at it and tell what they are. And the other thing I can do with this is pull these box edges out. Instead of having them folded down in here like this, I can bring them up like this. Then when I put these in here, it'll hold all of that. I might even get a little piece of tape and wrap around the outside edge of it to just make it into a deep little box. So put this up here like that. And where do I have tape at? Pretty sure I got some tape over here. Maybe out here. Some of that blue painter's tape that'll work just fine for this. So I think I mentioned that I have a cold. I think I also mentioned that me and Rusty Acres are planning a road trip to go up to One Lonely Farmer's farm in a week from today. And we're going to spend the night up there in an appropriate location, and then we're going to grab the truck and the rat rod and we're going to bring them home. And we may take turns driving different vehicles, or we may just have one of us drive one and one drive the other. I don't know, but we're a little bit excited about that. See, I can mark this box as battery tenders. Battery, B-A-T-T-E-R-Y, tenders, T-I-N-D-E-R-S, not T-E-N. I think T-E-N. Wait a minute, is it T-E or T-I? Because one is tendering a steak and the other is tendering something like you're keeping it hot or watching over it. I don't know. I'll know. It don't have to be spelled right for me to know. Tend. I'm going with T-I-N-D on this side. I'll go with T-E-N-D on the other side. Bat. T. I could say battery keepers. Now it should do it. Let me put my razor back over here where it goes. We'll put this over in here. And I'll put these over there in that toolbox. I'll put this back over yonder. Now, the way I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, I know I'm not terribly exciting. And most of the time, I ain't doing anything incredible, just regular stuff. But some of y'all don't mind and you put up with me anyway, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm get back to drinking my tomato juice in a few minutes. I started off the day with some coffee and some Alka-Seltzer, and then some lemon and honey stuff I call my super sauce, which is vinegar, lemon, and honey. And then I went to tomato juice, like it's actually like V8 tomato juice, but somebody left some old margarita mix over here, and that's about the same thing, so I've been drinking that. I got a little pile for my hammers over here, and I'll just put this over here with them. this will go out back. I'll drop it off on the way down. I got a clamp here, and I know I've got I can go in my 12-volt electric stuff because that's an insulator. I know I've got a box with clamps in it back yonder. You know what I think I'm gonna do with this? I mentioned there's a guy named Mason Fox. He's a young feller, and he's on the YouTube. And I'm gonna go ahead and confess, I sometimes have followers who are not how do I say this? They're not the first person that would get chosen for the baseball team if you were on the ball field picking people. And some of them have different challenges. To me, they're all heroes and superheroes. And I got a message from a guy the other day, and he said he was depressed, and he said he didn't have anything to live for, and it just about broke my heart. But those people will watch my videos. Now, why, I don't know, but it could be because they have the time to, because they're home and they can't. You know, I've known a lot of people who couldn't work who couldn't work a job, and they have to do some specialty things, if anything at all, to get their money. But Mason said something to me the other day that just about broke my heart, and ever since then I've been thinking very kindly for it, and I'm going to send him some stuff. So I'm going to send him this, because I ain't likely to ever use it on a shifter, even though I think it's super cool. So Mason, this will be coming your way with the rest of that stuff that you wanted. That's all I'll say. I might want to find my box full of clamps and move them up here. So I'll keep this clamp up here. I'll keep this up here for Mason. I'll drop this off with cords on the way back down. I'll talk to y'all some more in a little bit. I love you whether you like it or not. If you don't like it,